Sinking down into the golden light of the meadow, I feel the first chill of autumn. The summer is ending, the time of vibrant blooming coming to an end. The heat of summer and its abundance of growth settles down into its final show of colour as the seeds set and the mellow colours of autumn replace the tangy brightness of summer. Endings of seasons transmuting into beginnings of new ones. I loved the meadow all through the summer, but I won't be drawn into mourning it. I'll just embrace this change of the season to find its beauty, to appreciate the beginning of a time of golden waning. As I paint the moments between summer and autumn, experienced through the wild meadow, I find peace. My mind turns to how the changes of the seasons mirror life. What do endings mean to me? There were times when endings were mourned, people missed, moments regretted. Times when endings overtook my mind and emotions with a feeling of loss. That was then. And that too has come to an ending. As the layers of paint draw out the images I capture, so do my thoughts clarify with each brushstroke. As the years have gone by, endings have taken on new meanings. Endings have become beginnings. I've realised over time that the only way to move towards life becoming richer, better, more fulfilling is to accept that only through endings can we find something new. If we take from each ending its experience, its lessons, its growth, we can make a better beginning in our next step. In every aspect of life, I start to see how endings and beginnings are what make us whole and help us to live in new ways, through which we can find more peace, contentment and fulfillment. People come into our lives for reasons, whether it's in relationships, friendships, or as passing ships in the night. Each connection brings an experience, good, bad, joyful, powerful. It's only the endings of relationships which don't work for us that create the space for the beginning of more nourishing ones. When we put an ending to our own acceptance of what doesn't work, we open doors to beautiful things. Letting go of the toxic, we accept the nurturing. Letting go of the needy, we open ourselves up to giving. These endings can be celebrated for what they are and how they open our eyes too. My thoughts turn to the passage of light through the trees, how the dapples of sunlight create magic in their path. The painting starts to become all about the balance of light and shade. I think of the things which seem to repeat themselves over and over again in my life. Patterns I can see which have become ingrained over the years and relived over and over again. The frustration that wherever I do, they come back again. What can I do to change them, to create something more inspiring and fulfilling for me? I know that so many of these patterns come from deeply seated beliefs, self-limiting thoughts, fears and frustrations. If the ending of relationships bring beginnings for new, more healthy ones, then maybe the relationship we have with our own beliefs and thoughts can be ended too. There's a difference between letting these self-limiting beliefs affect our lives by trying to ignore them or fight them, and actually creating an end to the patterns. Each layer I add to the canvas takes my musings deeper, towards a ray of light in the distance. As the dapples of sunlight come to light the meadow in gold, so my thoughts start to shed light on what I need to do. Make endings, simply decide firmly to end my attachment to those things and strings of doubt and fear, and to end decisively the hold they have over my life. A true vision of wonderful possibilities, of a future free from limitations, will only become real when all these things from the past are put to an end. I can be grateful for their lessons, but I can also create a firm ending to their hold over my life so that I can begin a new way of thinking, which allows my hopes and dreams to flourish. The endings and beginnings span every area of life. A project finishes, sparking inspiration and ideas for something new. We move from place to place, ending one way of living and opening doors to something else. Every end and every beginning is filled with possibility, filled with the opportunities to live joyful, peaceful lives, to move from this spot into the light. Watching our children pass through different stages of their lives, moving from the dependent infant, the playful toddler, the growing child, the feisty teenager, to adulthood. As parents, each phase ends and we have to let go and accept endings to each stage of their lives and watch with wonder all of their new beginnings as they spread their wings and fly towards adulthood and towards independent lives of their own. Each of their endings brings for us an ending to how we live our own life and how we feel. Each phase of their lives affects us, and as it ends, brings something new for us too. And so the wheel of life turns. Let's look at these endings and these beginnings and try to embrace each one of them and run hopefully into each new beginning, ever moving forward in the circle of life. In the greater world, things need to change too. If humanity can end its attachment to greed, to money, to having stuff, if humanity can end its ignorance of nature and of what we've done to this planet, and as a whole have new ideas and start to live in a better way where we nurture and look after this beautiful place we live. If each one of us can end little things, little thoughts, little ways of behaving, things that we're attached to, if we can end wanting things only for ourselves and think about wanting things for the greater good, for the whole, then we all have a better future, not just as individuals, but as a species, as humanity, as a planet. Endings and beginnings, the things which make life go round, they're every single day in our lives. The paintings bring all these ideas and thoughts to me, and I hope that just in sharing them through my work, through the art, through the canvas, and through my musings and silly words, which may not mean anything to anyone else, but make all the difference to my life, maybe they might inspire one little spark somewhere to end something negative and to begin something positive.